Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Camera's over there. Hello and welcome to Dolphin's Dive, the weekly strategically minded Handelabra stream hosted by Logic Dolphin. Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against those goals are not welcome and will not be tolerated. You can follow us at Handelabra Games on Twitch and Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can follow me personally at Logic Dolphin on Twitter, Facebook, not Facebook. I have a Facebook, but it's not Logic Dolphin. Twitter, Twitch, Discord, YouTube, many avenues, but not Facebook. Son of the Multiverse, Bottom of the Ninth, One Deck Dungeon, Aeon's End, and Spirit Island are all available on Steam, iOS, and Android devices. And One Deck Dungeon is also available on Switch. And you can find more information on those games at Handelabra.com. So, you might notice that we have a green screen. Ooh, look at this. I can say, look, get the expansion packs right here. And it's like my hand's right here. Like, there's one expansion pack. It's kind of cool. I spent part of today getting this green screen set up. It's part of why this stream got delayed by an hour. And it works pretty well. You can sort of tell, though, that there are little issues with it appearing down here because it's darker down there, and so it goes through. I need to find a way to improve my lighting. Might work better, I guess, if I push the green screen back a little bit more, but I'm very limited in space. It's still my bedroom, so it's the size of a closet almost, so we'll have to make do with what we can. But hey, we still have this nice cool effect up here. And also part of the reason that you probably noticed that there's, you know, this rectangular part here, because if I expand this out further to the, oops, I don't want to resize it, I want to uncrop it, but if I go too far out, it doesn't go far enough out. There's still my bedroom over to the side over there, so it's cropped. Probably like crop it a bit looser so I could have my hand be, you know, certain distances away, but you see that it is the green screen does get worse over to that far end. I'm trying to kind of keep it closer to me just for the time being until we can sort out the bottom part of it. But anyway, this is the end of the year. This is the last stream of Dolphin's Dive of the year. And I said it's a tradition. I don't actually know if I've done this year to year, technically. I think I always want to do some sort of year's end celebration. But what I will do is to go through each of the Handelabra products and just do a quick game of each. I'm not going to do the one shot today. I'm just going to do, because we want to do this somewhat efficiently, game with Baron Blade, and we'll just pick Insula Primalis, and we'll just hit random and go. Oh, and we also have these guys. I don't think I want those guys is the problem. I'm just gonna hit random until I get 3 heroes that are not Cauldron things, because Cauldron is not something I'm familiar with. I've played a few Cauldron games. They're fun, but I don't want to get caught up in figuring out how decks work. Hey, John. Fortunately, there are a number of Cauldron decks. All right, that is not a Cauldron setup, so we can just roll with this. So, Baron Blade, Insula Primalis, Freedom 5 Tachyon, Omniron-X, and Luminary. It's gonna go. Not gonna spend too much time in each individual session. We're just gonna get things going. Tremble fools, the moon grows closer with every breath. We're running out of team. Keep together, see if we can make this work. Did I say Freedom 5 or this is Freedom 6 though? Team leader. Cool. All right. Global defense platform as usual. Blade Battalion. Hitting Tachyon. Okay. I guess I should go through the hands. Tachyon has Fleet of Foot, Hug Goggles, Lightning Reflexes, Supersonic Response. Omniron-X has Disruptive Flechettes, Gaussian Coil Blaster, Self-Sabotage, and Singularity. Luminary has Brilliant Inventor, Disposable Defender, Regression Turret, and Triple Cross. So the objective here seems rather straightforward. I think we'll start with HUD Goggles. Oh, I probably should have done Fleet Foot into HUD Goggles. Whatever, I'll Fleet of Foot now. I was gonna do lightning reflexes into one of them, and then I thought, hey, I get an extra card with it anyway, but no, I screwed it up. Right, well, whatever, we'll just do lightning reflexes later, unless we have a reason to do it now. If I do it now, we kill the Blade Battalion, but we don't need to kill the Blade Battalion. This will do 4 damage. Nope, because there's not been a previous turn for Tachyon. Never mind, read the card. We'll just play Accelerated Assault. Draw cards. This is going to be the Jeremy School of fighting Baron Blade, basically. Okay, Hypersonic Assault seems nice. So now, probably want to save Disruptive Flechettes if there's damage reduction. That's the more important one for the time. This is the card plays one. We could accelerate Baron Blade if we so wanted. But Luminary is a really good target though, because discards are still good. Obviously Tachyon, but Tachyon doesn't have her things yet that care about that. Probably just some component. Get the components going. Assuming he doesn't get dealt 5 damage at once. Doomsday. Go and play for now. Doomsdays are safe from Baron Blade because they're not ongoings or equipments. Aggression turret isn't going to do much other than hit multiple things, which is nice, but we probably want to just like accelerate your own deck. A Brilliant Inventor, sure. Aggression turret and Disposable Defender, cool. Let's accelerate decks more. We got 2 devices. Look at this. We got 5 cards in play for Luminary in round 1. Excellent. Increase all damage dealt by 1. And an Elemental Redistributor doesn't matter right now. One of these are redirecting, and the Disposable Defender is disposable. A Backlash Generator retaliated, and nicely so. Okay, no damage. Do we need to do AoE with Hypersonic? Do we care about Hypersonic for damage prevention? Nice if it did hit Baron Blade. Doesn't do that much damage on his flip side. It's more just his big burst damage from Devious Disruption, but that's not really gonna negate it by that much. It kills the Blade Battalion, so sure. I don't know how much fire damage we do. I mean, we do have fire damage. I don't think we have the others as much. Lightning damage, I guess, comes from Omniron sometimes. I guess the 2 damage components do the wrong damage. So, whoops. Okay. There's a card that cares about bursts. Work on this. And you probably want energy reduction. That's energy. This is sonic, this is lightning. Projectile, melee, toxic. So there's not really consistent damage. This is lightning. Lightning's gonna be the worst one. Don't have that plating yet. Want to do extra stuff? Don't really want to destroy Obsidian Field right now. I guess if a Blade Battalion comes out, that's gonna hit Luminary though, so it's not really an issue. If a T-Rex comes out, T-Rex goes after Luminary also. River of Lava would destroy something? No. Won't. Primordial Plant Life would, and that's toxic, so a Blade of Coating would reduce that one. You could also just keep getting stuff set up. Auto damage. Auto damage. So, now we do Tachyon because bursts. Pushing the limits out of turn, not necessarily good. Now that I'm on a green screen, I can put myself in a hero square. Yes. Nah, I'm just gonna blow myself up and put myself in the villain screen. But yeah, this is fun. We'll see how this goes. One of the things that I've been like annoyed with was everyone seeing the background of my dirty room. So we got rid of that problem. Now you just have to see my ugly face all the time. Care about disposable defender. We already have like 3 in play. I guess a backlash generator. Sure. And this does do 1 more damage now. And it does whittle down the mobile defense platform a bit. We do have a nimble strike that would finish it off, so I suppose we can go ahead and use this for that purpose. Reduce damage dealt by targets dealt damage this way, so it doesn't make sense to hit Baron Blade, because it won't reduce his damage, but sure, I have an extra hit. All the Doomsdays have been found. Definitely wear a green shirt next time. Well, I am actually wearing a green sweater, and I have a green shirt underneath, but I don't think that it's getting caught by the chroma key, because it's not the right shade of green, but... Backlash field. This was what we were worried about. Yes. Ooh, but I want that. So no. Okay, so Velociraptor Pack is going after Baron Blade, or going after their devices, but we could make it target the redistributor simply by hitting it once. So anything that would do it, like Gaussian Coil Blaster does it. Backlash field, we have to be careful of though, because that would retaliate to Omniron, or actually no, the redistributor is what we have to be careful about, because this prevents Luminary from hitting Baron Blade right now with these things. So that's like 5 damage that we're missing if we don't take out the redistributor. Freedom 6 Tachyon has been dealt damage by Freedom 6 Tachyon. Whoops. Guess we start with Nimble Strike. Probably want to get rid of Backlash Field. We're not really worried about cards in the trash because it's standard Baron Blade. We could use Disruptive Flechettes to do that. That does kill the Velociraptor Pack, so I guess we don't really worry about the Velociraptor Pack hitting things. So, Nimble Strike. Just do this so we can hit Baron Blade more with Omnitron. Sucker Punch. Well, that is a burst. 2 more cards. I guess if I hit Baron Blade, then I will have been dealt damage by Baron Blade, so this would go off, right? Does it automatically do it? Or is it not retroactive? I could have Baron Blade hit Baron Blade. Is it each target? First time he's dealt damage by a target, so it's not like each target. Let's see what happens if I don't do that. Aha! It is retroactive. Awesome. I don't think I want to burn the Lightspeed Barrage, though. Sucker Punch the Velociraptor Pack, he dies anyway, but I guess it's a burst, so sure. Draw more! This... Can't hit Baron Blade because this redirects to the hero with the lowest, which is actually Tachyon. We could then redirect it back. But then the Backlash field does still hit Omnitron, which is unfortunate. We'll just burn up this. And then if I take this out, then I can't hit Baron Blade with the lightning damage at the expense of being retaliated against, but not for too much. So our plan was Disruptive Flechettes. Be nice to do Rocket Punch instead, just to burn him through, but nah. So we've done this once to Luminary, once to Tachyon. Should we balance it out and do it on Omnitron now? Let's do it on Omnitron. Innervation Ray. He's gotten most components except for the one that plays extra cards. Okay. Not enough devices in the trash. That doesn't do it. Could destroy some of my own devices to make it happen. We could keep putting stuff in play. Could do Bared Blade and then I can use 2 powers. We'll do that. Damage. Consider the price of defeat. Let's get devices. Got Repair Nanites. And we can reduce Baron Blade's damage. Seems legit. Luminary's at full. But so are the devices. So the Repair Nanites don't work. A second Obsidian Field. It's the Baron Blade speedrun. And now the Devious Disruption. Well, that does destroy Omnitron's stuff if we leave everything out. But actually it destroys it even if we don't destroy anything because it's 3+2 thanks to the Obsidian Fields. So Omnitron's, your stuff is going away anyways, so they're just gonna get whacked. And we can just use the Synaptic Interruption to redirect damage. Probably not pushing the limits though. We have another HUD goggles, so we could just destroy the HUD goggles. And I'm probably not going to take the damage for that anymore. We'll leave that in play, hit Tachyon, and then Tachyon redirects. I guess actually it was -1, so one of Omnitrons could have been spared, but actually no, because it's 4, but plus any number is 5, so no. And this does redirect to a disposable defender, so might as well do that. How does it feel to have a taste of your own medicine? So it's definitely an owie game. See, we have 9 damage there. Well, actually slightly more if we do Accelerated Assault first. That'd be 3, and then this would be 10. Let's Baron Blade down to 1. Definitely a shame that we lost all of Omniron-X's setup, but Luminary would still flip it anyway. Seems like a worthwhile time to flip Baron Blade, in my opinion. Ooh, ablative, or a whatever that one was, not ablative coating, but the plating card. That's damage. How does this deck deal damage? Logic. What was the actual quote? Jorb's something. Undulates. Logic undulates. How does this deck deal damage? Logic undulates as he discards a defensive blast. Alright, so flipped Baron Blade deals energy damage. This deals damage based on a type currently reduced by a plating card, so we'd really want to get a different plating than that one. So we could just do technological advancement to get a plating that's not that one. Like Elemental Exochassis would be good. There's not much of that damage in this game, so Elemental Exochassis it is. And Omnitron lost all of his setup, so let's see if we can get him set up again. We get a Disruptive Flechettes. Might as well play it versus trash it. Flip Baron Blade. We get another plating. Awesome. So. Could take some hit points, I suppose. Discards, sure. Extra powers, sure. Sure. Let's do the Jeremy School of dealing damage to things. It's the Saber Battle Drone. And depending on what gets played, like the environment could just do damage to everything, right? That does damage to heroes only. That doesn't do damage to everything. No, so it's just that it's heroes and not other things. But of course the Velociraptor packs would nibble on something, but... It's devices. I think that Saber Battle Drone destroys one of these. I don't think we care about this one, so we could just destroy that one. Kill everything but the repair nanites. Who needs hit points? Enraged T-Rex goes after Omnitron. Almost hit Baron Blade, but unfortunately Tachyon was higher. Or, well, Omnitron was higher, but yeah. Blade Battalion, ouch, but we win. I think we'll be fine. Oh, no. Alright, then we just win with Defensive Blast. And we'll just wipe the board for funsies. Look at all these pluses. Imagine a power that deals 12 damage to all non-hero targets. Totally balanced. Sentinels of the Multiverse is a totally balanced game with no exploits. Alright, so that is the last Sentinels game of the year. Baron Blade has been trounced. And now we have to do the thing where we shuffle things around. So, suppose I could have John help me out with this if he were so inclined. I didn't ask him in advance, so I don't know if he's necessarily able to do this. But I'm just gonna do this for this round. I'm gonna switch over to one deck dungeon. Saving bottom of the 9th for possibly last, if we decide to do it. So, one deck dungeon. Yeah. We're done with this game. Now we start one deck dungeon. And you can see more visibly that there's a green screen effect going on over there, because there's no active game going on. And, oops. I hit quick play. I meant to hit options. Because I want this not full screen. I want this 1920 by 1080. And I need to see how this looks. Doesn't look good. It's been a while since we've played this, and I know the game's actually a bit loud. I did not do any, like, pre-setup of any of this. I probably should have. Deck dungeon, do this, and then fix it. Okay. Well, since we started this game, I guess I kind of have to play it, which is unfortunate because it is fearless. No, we have potions. No, but it's because these characters have potions. And yeah, we don't have a fiend at least. But yeah, I was going to try to set up an easy game, but oh, we have the antidote potion. Well, I guess we shall just do this. Animations are pretty fast. They're not even that fast. It could be faster. We're just gonna roll with it. We have True Strike on Druid for some reason. Precision on Archer, which is actually good. After each boss round, heal. When you descend, heal. When you use a potion, heal. Extra skill item. Archers, combined shot increases one of my partner's strength dice by 1. Excellent for all the strength that Druid has. Choose a color, you and your partner each reroll a dice of that color. We have True Strike, and then potions heal and descending heals. Okay. So, Sharp Cliffs. Also, I don't know if it's hybrid or just Forest of Shadows. Definitely a Forest of Shadows dungeon because it has poison. 4 dice. Put a 3 here. We have 3 dice. We'd have to roll 4.7 average on dice that roll 3.5 average. Pretty tall order. We just take the consequences and gain the skill. Clever Smash on Druid would actually, like, slightly be better. Or be slightly good, because it could just go into True Strike and give us a 4 of any color. Plus combined shot would actually work. It would be at the expense of starting the game with 3 damage. We do have 4 health each, and we have all these Healy skills. But we would get poison, at which point we'd spend time at the start of each turn. Which, I mean, isn't that just spending time? Isn't that just how these games always work? You could high roll it and not take any consequences. I'll just do it. Oh, I could just spend time to get some heroic dice. Spend 2 time. Right, we have heroic feats, don't we? 2 time to take the better of 2 heroic dice. Question is that going to significantly offset? Assuming that it's just 1 extra die, which is it's not exactly. Then we would have 4 dice to put on the 14. Would be 3.5 average. Means it's about 50-50 whether we get it covered. But since we do control what die we keep, it's slightly better than 1 extra die. Let's put the odds better in our favor, but if we do miss the 14, then our consequences are worse than if we just didn't cover the 14. And then the transformation doesn't work because it's not strength or agility. I think I'm just gonna accept the consequences here. May the odds be ever in your favor. I love Blinkfing Poop. Got the 3. And a miss. We had rolled a 3 on this one, which we could have calculated the chances of doing that. But it's actually pretty favorable because you'd have to roll. There's 36 different ways to roll 6 dice, or 2 dice, and 4 of them involve not rolling a 3 or higher, so pretty good chances. Extra damage to the one that has extra recovery, and then the poison has to be done evenly. That on Druid. Could just heal it up right now. Actually, if we did heal, since we do have first aid and cure, it actually would like heal a lot of it, but it's okay. We have Flame Weave, But Druid doesn't even have Crafty. And Dismantle would be terrible because we only have one strength die. I'm over it. We have 3 dice, but we'd have to put 2 on this one. Unless we do Transformation and Eagle Eye or something. Not really that concerned about Flame Weave though. We don't have mana skills. It does improve mana dice, but I think this would be a skip. Now Pit of Spikes, which is basically the same thing we just did, except now this is a 14. Which is impossible to do with 3 dice. Well, 2 dice, because you put 1 on the 3 is what I mean. You'd have to roll 7 average, which is impossible. Dexterity on the archer would be fine. It goes well with precision. He has more agility dice. I think we go ahead and take these consequences. This is actually, yeah, it's a hybrid game. So when we do poison rolls and we succeed, we don't remove poison. So we have to be mindful of that. I think we spend 1 time to roll a die. That was a 5. So now this is a 9 we have to cover with 2 dice. I'll do another one. 3 time, it's better than 2 time and 3 damage if we can do it. So what does this mean? We got a 5 and a 6, which are really good, of course. If they both go here, we just need an extra 3. But we still have to cover this 3. The chances are pretty good that we're able to do it as long as one of these is a 3, because then the other 2 just have to be not double 1s. If we don't roll a 3, that means we're rolling 1s and 2s, which are pretty unlikely. So it's pretty likely that this does work. 5 is good. This doesn't matter. We're not fighting a fiend, so we don't have to worry about extra dice going somewhere. But if we did, we have an extra 2. Alright, so we spent 3 time to prevent consequences. Probably better. Time is better than damage. Spend time for each one rolled. Lots of mana, lots of strength. We don't have lots of those. Probably use Transformation to get an extra strength die. We do have Clever Smash at least. Armor Crush? We don't need Armor Crush, do we? I guess it depends on the boss. Boss does have an armor. Cost a strength die, which we don't really have. We'd probably just go for the mana die then. Put it on Druid, I suppose. Keep Druid the mana one. This one. Good roll. Let's not do this one. No 1s. 1-1. But 1-1 for however many dice that was, 8 dice, is actually pretty good. Get dexterity. Hit as well. Increase this to a 6, totally worth. This is potentially a 1, which would be an extra time. And we don't need to discard that, but it's probably just going to go there anyway. Depending on, because we do have good mana rolls, but not actually quite good enough to cover a 5 entirely. Oh, this can just convert to be a 5. It does leave this here. We could convert this to be a heroic and turn that into a 4. This goes to heroic. And everything's covered. Just cover all the boxes. And have a 4 left over for some reason. Didn't really improve our situation too much. I guess we do have Clever Smash on Druid, so dismantling wouldn't be too bad. We do have potentially, well, actually we don't really have enough dice still. It'd have to be a 6 that gets rolled off this, and we'd have to roll a 3 on this one die here. Unless we use Heroic Feats, which... is it worth doing that to get one extra door? Ability die on Archer would be good. If we lose, we don't die. We'll do it. So we just have to roll a 3 or higher right now, because Clever Smash would give us a 3 guaranteed. I don't think it's worth spending 2 time to guarantee that. Or we don't need Clever Smash. Which means we didn't need Transformation, but you know. Can't exactly know that in advance. Alright. So now it's Poison Roll. We could just use Antidote. And if we do that, we do cure some of our poison. I think that's worth. Go on the Archer, because why not? Heal a poison. And a heart, I guess. Because otherwise... I guess we could have healed the Druid's poison, though. Archer drinks the potion, but Druid heals. Is that how that works? I don't know. Charmed Panther is my favorite skill, and we do have the dice to get it. Guaranteed Strength 4, that goes into True Strike, although Druid's at their item limit. Guaranteed Agility 4 for Precision now, or for Agility? Sure. Feels like we have enough dice for this. Okay, good enough. We're saving bottom of the 9th for last. We're not doing the games in order, we're doing the games. Both heroes are at their skill limit. Critical strikes on Archer could be interesting now. Because we do have a dexterity into the critical strikes, or a Charmed Panther into critical strikes. Bottom of the stream. Slow time is a lot easier than running past. Though if we run past, we could just use Transformation to get an extra die, in which case we have basically the same number of dice. So we have 5 mana dice. One of them goes into 3. So 4 dice to make 11 is 2.75. Is easy. Running past. Right now we have 4 dice, but 1 goes into 3, so 3 dice. 14 divided by 3 would be 4.67, so that's a tall order, but if it's 14 divided by 4, it's 3.5, which is the average roll. Slowing time still makes better sense. 2 extra time just to guarantee we get it, I think. It does mean that our turn or round ends earlier, but we just flee and come back for spending 2 time anyway. If we do that, we don't have to use one of these skills, I'm pretty sure. And Druid does it single-handedly. Where's the button that says, no thanks, I'm good fam, for the Archer's die? Just roll 6s, yes. wondering if I want to take critical strikes. Putting it over dexterity seems wrong because we do need 6s. Yeah, we need 6s. Doing it over Charmed Panther also seems wrong. We don't have that many floating agility. 3 dice, but 1 goes in dexterity, which goes into... Well, I guess if it goes into critical strikes for general encounters, it's okay. A free... Not free, but a heroic 6 is nice. I want the item instead for some reason. I mean, our strength situation is pretty terrible, but we do have this combo of Clever Smash and True Strike, which makes it not as bad. Plus, Charmed Panther is a guaranteed strength die, and we don't really need... We need strength 6s, really. 2 skills that together say always have a heroic 6. Is that good? Yeah, but it replaces Charmed Panther, which is a free die, and it's a strength die that we might need. Next floor, we don't need strength on this side, at least. I should just put it in the empty square. Right, we have this spot here that we could put it in. Yeah, heroic 6s are probably important. Probably. Oh, we took extra... Right, we've spent an extra time, so we take damage. Oh no. We both heal when we descend, and Druid could heal the poison at least, which is nice. Before the encounter, convert an item to experience. Don't have strength items. It'd be an agility item, I guess, but that would be annoying because we're agility set up here. Could convert the mana because we don't need the mana as much, but we do want it for this encounter is the problem. The free agility 6 covers this box, which is nice. So we don't need as much mana for this encounter, but we do want strength, which we can get a 5 at least, so that armor box is fine. I think we'd do it. I don't think I'd do a transformation here. My mana rolls are awesome. My agility roll was ridiculous. Agility, or heroic 6s, you say? Alright, I probably should have rolled first, but whatever. That is automatic, but that's also probably just gonna be put into True Strike. So this. Yeah, put it into True Strike and make it a Strength 4. And then Combined Shot makes that a 5. I'd like to save this for this. Could just re-roll strength, because this is not doing anything right now. Have this floating around, but ideally it goes here if we can afford it. Have this that increases a die by 5, which makes it a 6. Could just make this a 6. And then that makes that enough. And then we're down to a reroll as to whether we get this 3 covered. It doesn't actually make a difference if that 3's covered. Unless we go into another encounter that takes time. I think we're not taking the spoils here, right? I think we want to level up. And by doing this, we actually have to experience rollover, which is nice. But the heroic die is better than the strength die, right? So And spending 3 mana to roll 2 agility dice is not that helpful. I have to replace a skill we have right now. So we want to get, we want to get the item, but the item is better as a heroic die, so. Is there a way we can solve this without relying on the reroll? Or to minimize the reroll? Like if I do this to make a heroic 3 and that covers this. This floating 2 that's not doing anything. If I combine, if I make this like a heroic, it's still just a 1. I mean, it's already a 2, but we need more, right? I guess no, this goes in there. Is that the thought? I don't know. I had a thought and I lost it. I think I was thinking I was making this a heroic, but it doesn't actually improve the situation at all. Don't have enough pips. Pretty sure this is... Oh, this isn't even my partner's die? No, it is. Oh, increase another of your dice. Okay, well that's the problem. I could make it one of my dice by doing this. Success! Task failed successfully. Probably worth 1 damage to look at the door. Considering we get lots of heals with first aid. We descend and we heal. It's a trap! We do have the heroic die now. We can run through. We can spend 1 time to roll the agility die on transformation. It's actually 6 dice we have. Have to roll a 2 average after putting the 3 up. Seems doable. And we already have the 3, so we just need a 2 average. Good start. I need a 2.25 average. Nailed it. Probably on Archer for critical strikes. Don't have enough strength dice for this. Plus it's a roll skill, which I don't really like. Hey, we're not spending extra time now. We've reduced our time consumption by 33%. Dodge. 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 We have 1 extra agility die. So it'd have to be 5 higher. Plus we have 2 armor boxes here. I think we just spent the time to do magic shield. Like we could go for the 11 and then use transformation, but then that's like, why? At that point, you just spent too much effort. All right, we have the 3 and the 4, and we have a 5, so these rolls don't matter. So cool. I heard you like dodge. Wraith. No, not Wraith. Sorry, just kidding. Shadow. Heroism. Hey, this encounter is slightly up our alley because we don't have that many strength dice. We have a free agility 6. Spend time for each skill you use, though. So actually, all these skills would be extra time anyway. So I think this is like. I don't think I care about covering the strength 5, so I'm just gonna roll agility. I don't like spending 2 time. 2 time for a heroic seems bad. Those agilities aren't good. Those agilities are good. So that's covered. Don't have the 5. Spend a time to get an agility 6. Don't forget the shame dice. Yeah, every skill costs a time here, so we have to be kind of careful with what we want to do. We could turn this heart into a time by using dodge. And this 4 is still not covered. And this 5 is a poison that will result in more time down the road. We could do precision to make this a 5 to prevent. Because like if we take the poison, it's 1 time at the start of next turn anyway, so that would be neutral at the start of next turn, but then 2 turns from now we've spent an additional time, so that makes sense to cover that 5. Is there anything I can use with the agility 6? I could critical strikes and then put it somewhere else, but I'm spending 2 time to do that. But 2 time versus 1 damage 1 time. We're replacing a damage for time, so that's better. And then we have a heroic that we could do for dodge to prevent this 5. What was the plan for this one? I guess it was gonna be precision. Right, actually no, we were gonna make a heroic to make precision, so actually don't have the die for dodge in that case is the problem. Unless we do this. But this is gonna be precisioned. True Strike on Druid is a bold choice. That's what the frickin' I hit quick play, and I guess that was what was on Druid was True Strike. Don't ask me. I hit quick play accidentally. I wanted to change settings. I hit quick play by accident, and we're just going with this. Don't ask why this is here. I would have set up some easier match if I had a say, but I accidentally hit quick play, and I don't want to screw up my statistics. Anyway, back to the story at hand. Be nice if this combined shot hit this. Would Clever Smash be worth? If it became a heroic 3, what would that do? If it became a heroic 3, this could slide over here. Not sure if that accomplishes anything. I don't know whose 4 that was. I guess it was Archer's. It's kind of tough because I would just use all the skills right now if this were a normal fight and take like 0 consequences, but trying to minimize the time is making me spend more time. I'm spending more time so that I spend less time. Pretty sure dexterity makes sense in any case. Not necessarily for that, but... If this rolls over there, and then I do this, then I have 2 2s floating around. Somehow that counts as selecting that. Cool. I'm gonna put this here and hit remove dice just so that... Oh, well, that doesn't actually... I guess I could undo. Okay, I just wanted to see whose dice was which, because I already lost track. Could turn this into a heroic to get a 4. Spend a time to cover this. I haven't covered the strength 5. Which could be done with... Right, critical strikes actually does do that. Except I think technically we're doing something here. This mana 5's not covered right now. What was my plan for this? Heroic? Heroic 4. I'm guessing I can't turn heroic dice into heroics. That's kind of a silly question. Like if I do this. Yeah, it's just gonna be those 2 dice. There's no other ifs, ands, or buts. Like if I put them there. True Strike for the 4, and then Heroic for a dodge. Spend 2 time, but prevent 2 damage. Okay. Spent quite a bit of time. But I want my heroism. Heroism is kind of really important against the boss. Heroism means I no longer care about strength dice, for instance. Or, for instance, I can turn agilities into 6s, and then they turn into heroic 6s. Seems really important. Do we want a free agility 3? Archer is kind of full right now. Mana die on Druid's probably fine. You need a number of mana dice. Still no real mana skills. This does work in perils though. And when I have that free agility 3, that makes agility perils a lot easier. Could also, other than the fact that I want to use this 6 into critical strikes, if I had space for it on Archer, a free agility 3 that goes into dexterity for a free agility 6 that goes into critical strikes for a free heroic 6. Yeah, the problem with that is I'd have to replace dodge, which prevents damage, which actually, looking at the boss, I guess if we just... Oh yeah, we also have, like, grit here. So grit plus dodge means I don't need to cover this 6, for instance. So that's cool. Except this prevents 2 hearts on bosses, so never mind. Thought it might prevent 2 hearts on bosses. It prevents 2 hearts on bosses. H-Bra, read the card! So we don't even get to cover this 6, and arguably we take 1 damage here. And not have to cover this 6. So dodge is actually really good. Who'da thunk? The problem with going for the skill, though, is we don't have strength dice. So I guess we disarm and take a mana. We have 5 dice. Yeah, I don't think we need that. Even though we don't have peril skills, I think we'll be fine. Just need to roll a 2. You had 1 job. Two damage and 2 time, or use a potion. I think you need room to heal with recovery and first aid, so we don't use the potion. It's you! The boss that someone said needs to be fixed. What was it that was said? It was under general, right? The enemy ability should be nerfed or removed, was what was said. So the first thing to consider, if I enter this door, do I die if I roll like all 3s, for instance? Well, don't actually have any dice here. Clever Smash does give us a heroic 3. Doesn't say before checking any other effects, so what if it does discard the 1 or a 3 that gets rolled? Well, assuming that it allows me to choose this first, I do get a 4 out of this, but that has to cover an armor box. If we screw this up entirely, we could use Cure to remove our damage and then take 8 damage and die. So that doesn't seem good. We could use Eagle Eye, which there's like a 4 out of 36 chance that we roll 2 1s, 2 3s, or a 1 and a 3. So it's a 32 out of 36 we roll something that's not one of those. And we get to keep that die, but again, we'd only have 1 die for this. Seems like it'd be a huge risk to open this door. Now, granted, the chances of us rolling only 1s and 3s are pretty slim, but we'd have to cover 2 armor 4s. And then some other things. I think we just flee. Because the card was not removed and I am rebelling. The enemy ability should be nerfed or removed. Oh look, it's the guy that needs strength. Now what happens if we run into this encounter willy-nilly? Well, our dice aren't getting discarded, that's the good news. Brute Force is kind of trash. I mean, I guess theoretically it works against the boss to cover some 6s that we would theoretically want to do, but they're not agility 6s, which actually progress the fate. So I guess it would be a mana for Druid. Or we just take 4 experience. Although I could just take the item, because then you'd be full on items. I guess you still have 1 more skill, so you probably want to take a skill, but whatever. If I don't cover any of the strength, that's 6 damage. And that would kill Archer. Archer can only take 2 more damage. which means at most we have to take 4 damage in this fight. The agilities are pretty nice. I have a 6, so like the 6 is covered. These 3, one of them is, well, the 3 is hit by True Strike at the very least. Which would have to be 2 5s. So we'd have to mitigate, but we could also do dodge to cover one of them. Our mana's not doing much in this fight, though. The annoying thing. It covers a 5 here, possibly, but that's just poison, which doesn't do much. And then the other 4 would have to be heroics. We have 1 strength die, assuming that Clever Smash like doesn't do much. Or it's probably True Strike was the thought to cover that 3, so actually we don't have a strength die. Actually, I guess Clever Smash into that, so we do have a strength die here, I guess. We do have a heroism. We do have hit points to recover. Maybe this works. Heroism on 2 extra agilities. Covers these 2. All these agility dice are now covered with a combination of our skills. We just have to focus on the strength. Which we do have some manas. I'm gonna go risk it. I guess we do have, yeah, we use this for sure. Because this could be heroismed if needed. This one can't be heroismed. But worth doing to possibly get a 2. So 35 out of 36 we get a 2. And the 2 covers this box with this 4. Also, it's likely that we can cover the 9 with whatever strength this is. So we have to take, I think we just have to cover everything but the 12 to survive. Well, I guess, no, we're gonna use heroism and heal, in which case then it's okay if we take 6 damage, because all of our HP is gonna be gone, because... Actually, no, because... Yeah, when you use a potion. So the problem is if I use it on Archer, Archer heals 1 from First Aid, but not Druid. And Cure does heal 1, so we only heal 2. So we got 7, but we could take... Yeah, we could still take 6, though. 3 on each. No, we can't. It'd be nice if we could do 3 and 2. Right, no, right. As long as I cover the 6, and I take 5. No, yeah, because I do... Whoever has the 1, which would be Druid. Druid takes 2, Archer takes 3, and we survive, so I don't do this one. And who wants this one? Probably... It could be Druid, so it gets hit by precision. It could be Archer, so that it could be used in precision. So, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Put it here so it could be hit with precision. Well, now I don't need precision on it. So 6. Prevention. These would be some pretty sick heroics if needed. I guess we also have dodge, so we are actually pretty... Well, I guess dodge was theoretically covering one of these. But now, with what we have, without precision. We actually, or without critical strikes. We have the agility set. And then the mana's done. And then this goes in the true strike, I suppose. Do that. This becomes a strength 4, then it becomes a strength 5. There's no way we cover the 12. Is there? I mean, theoretically, Synergy Aura rerolls to get a 6, and then Heroism makes this a 6. Spend all my Heroisms. 5 plus 4 plus 3 is 6. I guess that's better than 3 damage, yeah. I guess that's better. Fair point. What is this die? I can't see it. It's a 4, right? I think I don't discard this, and then I make the heroic. And then we just take 1 damage. Alright, pretty nice. You love math, but this game seems to have so many complexities. Well, it comes down to what skills you want to take, I guess, but I'm like, yeah, it's a very complicated dice game. That's for sure. Hey, you have extra health. You heard it was just Yahtzee. Alright, agility's fine. We have a extra mana thing again. Yeah. This is easier than the previous fight, I presume. I'm just gonna enter it without thinking. This is the part of the game where I stop thinking and I just start clicking on cards. Except this isn't cards. Hey, you rolled a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. That's kind of amusing. Okay. Just do the roll skills first, because I can't rewind past them. That's tough. It gets increased by 1, so I don't discard it. Any other roll skills? There's a reroll there. Any reason to reroll? We don't want to reroll this 4, I don't think. We do have 2 5s. I think we could just cover everything. Plus dexterity makes this easy. Actually, why am I doing... I would do that? No, I don't need to do that. Just cover all the boxes. Just do it. Don't even think. Do it. Just do it. Do it. Does Druid take persistence? I mean... I think that would be like the one situation where taking the experience is better, but I probably should have just opened more doors instead of, or explored more instead of doing it. Oh well. Don't think we're fighting this guy, so I could spend 3 time, easy peasy. Just take the 4 experience. I think we do it. Do that. Do that. Don't do that. Do that. Nice rolls. Persistence? Or do we care? Do I have an increase? Don't have mana 6. I have mana 4, mana 5. There's a 5. But the 11 has to be covered somehow. Just do this for True Strike. You need to combine 2 of the 6s to get a black one. When you put 2 dice in here to make a heroic, it takes on the value of the smaller die. So if you want it to be a 6, you need to put 2 6s into it. But if you use critical strikes, it doesn't matter. So this does result in a damage, even with the dodge, because it's going to be a one-time. That's the one problem we have. This could go there, but we have to get extra 2, but we can't just do it, so never mind. Just do that, and then we can move that. Excellent. Okay, that was easy. Okay. Now, a lot of people love extra health, but I honestly don't care for the extra health. For one, because I have extra health because of the class I'm in, but I think leveling up is better, which this doesn't level me up, but still not doing this. We're more hurt than we were before, and just terrible. Persistence that does not help there. I wanted to descend. Undo. Descent. I wanted to descend. Exile 2 poisons from the supply. How many people have ran into the problem where they ran out of poison? I don't think I've ever ran into that problem. There have been games where I've had 5 poison on a character, but I don't think I've really gotten... This guy's easy. He looks scary, but he's easy. If that happens, you're probably not doing well. Exactly. Is there any reason I want to take a strength die here? For like persistence? Like, we're hoping for mana skills. That's a mana skill. Is that better than persistence? Probably. Is it worth spending 2 mana to roll more dice and discard one of them? Convert your mana into what could be a worse die? I don't know. I don't really like persistence though. It's just not doing anything for me, so I guess that's just gonna get replaced. Strength is the weak one. Strength is not weak anymore. Mana was terrible. What? All of those were terrible? 1s and 2s only? I rolled 6s on the one that I don't need 6s on. I only rolled 1s, 2s, and 6s. Something is terrible. Clearly, this is the RNG's fault. The developers programmed this game so that you roll exactly the wrong numbers. This game's taking long. Huh. Sentinels was like 20 minutes. This has been an hour. We still have to do Spirit Island and Aeon's End and potentially bottom of the 9th. Guess we could do a reroll. But on what? That agility's not good because this is already a 6. It could be mana. That's pretty good chances we get at least 1/5. Because how many ways are there to roll? There's only 16 ways we roll only 1s through 4s, so it's 20 out of 36 that we roll a 5. Probably worth. I think that's the better option. It's technically better than it was. Yeah! Alright, we've cut out 3s, 4s, and 5s from these dice. It's only 1s, 2s, and 6s. We've proven that something is off. Guess actually that would be better. I'll cover that 3. I haven't used critical strikes yet, but whose dice is whose? Whose one was this? It's not yours. Guess I'm supposed to do the thing where I hover over the square to see whose dice is whose, but I never remember to do that. And it's also really subtle. Can't really tell. So this is archers. I can turn into heroic, turn it into an agility 6, turn it into a heroic 6. Right? Except I can't put it on dungeon challenge boxes, so that was a waste. But I can do this. Aha! Take that. Bug report. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played One Deck Dungeon. It's been one that I've been thinking about coming back to, but I know that I have a lot of games and I wanted to focus more on Sentinels, but we want invulnerability. I can't use it on the boss, so probably not, but it gives me more heroisms. Probably just want the experience. Do I want to just rush to level 4? Come on, click, click. Or do I just want more agilities because we need a number of agilities, sort of? Time to drive to the airport for a pickup? Alright, have fun, John. If I grab the stone, but I take the experience, I could roll another agility die. But I can't roll another mana die. Seem like we got the good numbers. Free damage, a poison, and a time. I could use heroism to prevent all that, but then I'm not maximizing the heroism. I think it's better to just take the consequences. Extra damage on the Druid is probably better. Probably. Poison on the Druid, because if the poison roll fails, it's 2 damage. This is another 4 experience. But that gives me 2 strength 6s. Which completely solves my strength situation. That's annoying. Because I had another solution for that, but that seems better. Especially because it's finally a mana skill for the Druid. If I blast through, I can't roll the extra mana die, but if I climb around, I can roll an extra agility die, and that's the same number of dice as blasting through, but a lower number, but I'd be spending 4 time to do that. I have 6 dice is the problem. It's not that many dice. 6 dice for agility, 7 dice for mana. And 3 of them have to go on the right, because they're all armor. 4 here would be 3.5 average. So it'd probably be a good heroism fight anyway, because I would get the full recovery out of heroism. I would be able to heal this poison. I think I'd do that. That's a lot of 3s. Off by 1, but 1 is enough. Actually, hold on. How does that work? Heal you. You don't get it. Hold on. You heal. That. Yeah, it's asking who's actually heal, except it didn't. Wait. I'm confused. Something didn't quite work. Do this. Okay, first question is who drinks. But it has to be Druid because it's your dice. You get this question, but I could heal the archer. And then you have this question. Okay. Now they have about the same hit points, so that's better. Because if I'm taking Crushing Fist, then I don't need heroism as much. I mean, I do need mana, I suppose, for the 22 is the thing. We could always get that from, like, critical strikes instead. I don't know. At the very least, I could put, like, 6 mana in here and get 2 strength 6s that turns into a heroic 6. Which doesn't really help for the 22, but it's a thought. Add 2 times the consequences for each heroic die on this card. Well, we have lots of strength 6s now. We have a free agility 6. I think we do it and then take the experience again to rush towards that extra heroic die. I don't think we need a roll. Not for Eagle Eye. Maybe for agility, actually. A lot of agility squares. And that solves 0 of them. I guess it could be re-rolled with Synergy Aura. should just not discard it because I'm probably gonna go there anyway. But if it ends up going here, like if I increase it by 1, it becomes a 4. It needs to be a strength die. This could go into Adept. Like, we have the 6s for those. We don't have the 6s for Crushing Fist, though. We could theoretically use these. And turn this into a Heroic to put into Adept. I want to decide whether I use Adept before I start using other things, because when I decide that, I can't rewind past it. I think the thought was that I was going to re-roll this, but Agility might be fine. And Dexterity does that, so we just have to cover these now. Becomes an armor 4. Seems like we're gonna need some extra strength, or to get an agility die that can then go into dexterity and critical strikes or something like that. That probably makes sense. Agility 6, and then I take an agility die and I make it a heroic 6. Yeah. Everyone is archers, so this one, I guess that was already becoming a 6 is the thing. But now it doesn't have to be, like it was already becoming a 6, but now this can just be a heroic 6. There's also dodge. I don't think dodge does much, because we still have to cover this armor and we have to cover this 3. I haven't used True Strike. I don't have any other leftover dice on Druid. Reroll the strength die there, but get rid of this one first. 67% chance. Except I think we're doing critical strikes anyway, so it doesn't matter. Moss Golem is from Forest of Shadows. So if you only have the base game, you haven't seen it because it's Forest of Shadows. You can tell it's Forest of Shadows because of the leaf icon. You don't have any poison. Aha, joke's on you. But actually, joke's on me, because look at all those strength boxes. Ew. This is bad. Or is it? This covers 1. This covers 1. This covers 1 pending rolls. This might cover 1. This covers many. Maybe it's not as bad. Definitely do this though, because we need lots of strength dice. Honestly, that actually helped a lot. Just being a number that's greater than 1 helps a lot. Hey, that's 1s and 6s and nothing else. We've decided to get rid of the 2s from our rules now. Everything is either a 1 or a 6. I think we keep that one. Reroll agility, maybe? I mean, like, dexterity and dodge for 2 of them? Then it's just like 3's the next lowest, but then like this 3 covers this one and this 4, it's something. Gets turned into a heroic. In case it doesn't need to be re-rolled. Strength, but this already covers something. Like, I guess we probably want to put 2 in there, but I don't know. But like, our mana is redonkulous. That I could just do the rest like this. Cover the other boxes. Yeah. Okay. Seems like we're good. We don't need strength dice at all, so just level up. Alright, we got the extra heroic. Everything else is a bonus. I don't know what we would want at this point. Agility dice. We do need lots of agility. We need lots of agility 6s, but heroism makes 6s. So that item is fine. Can't exactly break through, so it's going to be dodge fines. And I don't think it makes a difference if I spend a time here. I would still take an extra damage if I stay on the floor anyway. But we didn't really need it. You can definitely take a damage on the Archer because Archer heals. I guess it's after the boss raid though. It's okay. If we're using heroism, we need room to heal anyway. Size Blow doesn't do anything. It's just another agility die. Excellent roll. Three, 4, 3, 5, 5, 5. The extra item going to make or break us? I don't think it will. We don't have much control over our mana, but it can always be heroismed. And we do have like extra agility that goes into heroics to help out in that regard. Although the 6s are the toughest, but we do have 2 of them covered. If these 2 aren't covered, we just don't progress the fight that much, but 15 is certainly just done. Worth the damage to look at the store just in case it's something awesome. I don't know what would be great. I guess maybe like a free mana 6 that can only go towards mana skills would be really nice. You know, I'm greedy. I want to look at the store. There's no poison. This does not make or break us. Although it does turn our 1 archer strength die into a heroic. Could take another agility. Can we do this though? There's lots of strength in this encounter. Spend an extra time to roll a strength die over the other strength squares. I don't know. I don't care about this. Okay. Strong start. Exactly have a 4 doing. How much mana do we have? Just shy. That's okay. We're gonna do this, I'm pretty sure. Because this could like go in there. So this gives me an agility 6. This is a roll. I suppose we should do this. We don't need that strength unless I want it to go into true strike, but if we do, then it's just like whatever, because if that goes in there, that finishes that. And then precision, that's not even my die is the problem. Is my die? It is. Is that my strength die? It is. So then that finishes that. We didn't even need heroism. I think we'll be fine. We can use heroism 4 times. So like these rolls don't matter. They don't matter. First order is the 15. Like, even if I don't cover any boxes, I don't die, so... we roll the mana. Yeah, I only need 4 damage this round, so I don't have to cover this 6. Indeed. Those are good rerolls, for sure. I want to do this. I don't need the strength, do we need the agility? Guess it can't hurt. This isn't really doing much. I guess I would prefer to get it this way because that 2 was bad. I guess we had to do Clever Smash. Let's do Clever Smash, which is gonna be a 3. Okay. I need to save these. Precision means like this is a 6, for instance. So can I just use these on 1 off, and that does that. Precision this. Cover, cover, cover. So like we win. We don't die. And now we really don't die. Wait, you can even cover this without using heroism? Why'd I even save my heroism potions for? I went to this fight with 4 potions, I didn't need them. Alright, we won. We got 12 boxes. You need to finish that, you need to finish that. Awesome. You're now up to date. Now we focus on aggression because fearlessness is really good. So good, I'm just gonna put all my things in there. And then you... I don't know why you're doing this. I guess because we're trying to mix things up for some reason. Sure. I like aggression because of this free, a free heroic die, because it even works on bosses, but it's also a bit cheaty, I guess, so I'm not gonna try to set that up. Cool. That is the one deck. Sorry, camera's here. I'm so used to the camera being here because it's been there for a while. We're done with the one deck dungeon part of the game. That only took an hour and 15 minutes or so. So now I gotta go set up for the next game. Next that was released was AEON's End. I don't think I want to run the beta because the problem is the beta has extra content, but it's not stuff that hasn't been seen, right? So you're gonna... I don't want to do the new stuff on AEON's End. We want to go back to a simple game because that was a bit too long. Does Abyssal Depths, and if so, where can you purchase it? You're missing a word, I think, but if you're asking is Abyssal Depths on digital, the answer I think is yes. Yes. Does Abyssal Depths have a physical? I think, I mean, it does. I don't know if it's actually been really, like, if it's like because of shipping issues, if it's happened yet. That's the problem. I honestly don't know. Okay, updates. That's done. I honestly don't know if... I did not back the Kickstarter for Abyssal Depths, so I don't have any information on that. Go... here. Now this is this. And now I just realized that my game is terribly set up because it's been a while since I've done AEON's End on stream. Alright, so let's fix that. Okay. Also, a lot smaller. Yeah, I wanted it to be this size, so I have to resize this again. Okay. Oh. New game. We're gonna do Rageborn, because we're not making this too hard. Guess we'll stick with normal, although I'm not really good at that. We're not playing with these ones. Sorry. Adelheim makes things easier. Lash makes things easier. We'll do those. And we'll hit random. I think some of these are technically new. Is there a way to tell? I don't really know if there is. Let's just make this classic. I don't think this is... The spell must be prepped to 2 adjacent breaches, which... Honestly, I haven't played with that too much, but I know that stuff having to be set to 2 is fine. Or it has been done before, other than... I don't know. I think this one's new, but it's also pretty good. I'm gonna use it. Whatever. It's my stream, my rules. That's fine. I wonder, because I guess that's fine. We have a 4 ether spell we can get, so that's cheap. We have lots of charges apparently. We're gonna get lots of charges, but that's fine because we want charges. Do we want this one for durability? You may lose a durability to make this gain extra ether. Seems fine. Can do wave 4. No, we're gonna do default. Okay, looks fine to me. Guess this is the setup that I used last time. Is there a way to... Hey, I can win the game. All right, let's move on. I haven't actually played Aeon's End in a very long time, other than the one time that I was on John's stream, but... I can't change display options from here, I suppose. I would have to... Resolution. Oh, the N is over there. That's a bug. Okay. So it is Adelheim. The ally may draw a card, discard a card. That's a gem. The only thing though is that it doesn't really do much. Because the card that I draw and discard is going to be put here. So it doesn't actually do much, does it? Just play them, skip. Whatever. Oh, it's also any ally, so it's actually just Lash, but it also doesn't, like... I mean, we could discard, like, the Spark, but the Spark should be prepped. 2 spells, 3 ether, so we focus this. Do that. Seems to make sense to me. It's probably the standard opening, you know. Reveal the top card of the turn order deck. Hey, it's me. I'll put it on the bottom, just because then I can react to stuff. I don't like it when there's 2 Nemesis turns followed by 2 Nemesis turns. That's terrible. That's literally the worst. So I have 5 ether. A lot of ether. Tempted to go for that right away, but kind of need to improve your spending power slash damage slash spending power slash damage. This one do? Play a gem in hand twice and destroy it or gain 2 ether. That improves your deck. It improves your deck. Let's do that and get the charge. Persistent Unleash. So what happens here again? Unleashing gains a Fury token. And when you get to 4 more for your tokens, you strike once. When you strike, a card is drawn from the strike deck, shuffle back from the strike, and you lose 3 Furies. And the strike deck just has this stuff. Discard, damage, 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 damage. But it's not too bad, but 6 health versus 70 health. We'll just do that. Big money. Just do the same thing as what Lash did. Strike! Who suffers the damage? You shall suffer the damage. It's your active play area. And this is like the exact same first turn. Adelheim. 6 ether now. Go for the big spell. 4 damage. Don't necessarily need to destroy this stuff. I mean, we're destroying our crystals. I do want to get a strong spell. I'm going to take the 4-1. Gravehold suffers damage equal to the number of Fury tokens Rageborn has. Oh, that's 2 damage. Terrible order of cards. Terrible. Literally terrible. Literally terrible. Literally terrible. Wow. Look at this amazing wombo combo. Okay. We could have actually... Well, I guess we didn't have a spell here. We did have an Adelheim that we moved to the bottom, but he didn't have an active spell. Any ally may draw a card and discard a card. We could discard the Spark. Like it's literally your first turn again. Three of my turns in a row, right? You're right. Where's my spells? Here's my spells. All right, no more unleashing. 5 ether. Guess we take this and charge. We need to get better spending power as we start destroying our crystals. You would draw a Spark. Actually really good. Bam. Bam. Take the spell. Alright, so now we have a spell on each person and then one better gem on one person. Player with the most prep spells. Oh, and it's power 3. Right. Do-do-do. You can just go. I don't want that on the bottom. You're not gonna unleash, it's 2 more damage. If I put you on the bottom though, we'll have another Lash turn. And we could kill this so it's not 2 damage to Gravehold. It's probably better, honestly. We'll let you be on the bottom, risking 3 consecutive turns. I guess this is also fine spending power because it's 2 ether. It's basically a Jade. Once you've gotten rid of your other things. So we have 3 ether, so we focus that one and then just do that. Could I have done? Okay, I've spent 2 ether to cast any player's prep spell, maybe. But probably not worth. Because we already can kill this guy next turn. If you discard that crystal, do too much. You discard the Spark. You would still draw it. Yeah, you would still draw it. It doesn't do anything for you. Let's discard that one, return that one. 5 ether. Let's take the relic. Get our charges going. I want this to go with this, that, yeah. I don't know the words, but I wanted it that way. I wanted it. Okay. 4 ether. Don't have that one yet, right? Take that one. Let's take it. Okay. Power 2. We have 2 power 2s. Double Nemesis turn would be bad. It's not. This also doesn't really do anything for you. We can't... We could... Yeah, we can just discard 3. Stop that. But this has to happen. Take 2 damage for each of their prep spells. I mean, only having 1 spell is fine. So we'll do that. Discard those. Unleash twice. So we're at 4 Fury. And 3 more damage. Oh boy. We have no healing in this game. That was probably a mistake. Okay, but if this goes off now... Which it may or may not. If it goes off now, it's actually bad on Lash. We want Lash to go again. He doesn't have enough open breaches, or enough spells to prep. But he needs to go again. Otherwise he dies. Or ether is not enough for many things. I guess I could focus. Yeah, I could actually do all my spells. Focus this, prep this, prep this. And then I can spend the ether to do this. And then prep that. Aha, look at that amazing combo. Look at that amazing wombo combo. Now I want to get rid of my stuff. Or just one of them. Yeah. I think we just need to be more aggressive. So let's open this, focus that, prep that. Okay, so Nemesis goes next. If you use the spell, Lash dies. So, no. Actually, no, I have the spell here. Why did I think I didn't have that spell? Why am I dumb? Let's start over. Hi, I'm Logic. I have this spell. Someone's PMing me. Okay, 3 ether. Just get this focused up. Gotta be more aggressive, preventing him from doing things, basically. Okay. Adelheim. To unleash. Or to discard. Lose 4 charges. Power to unleash 4 times. Yeah, I kind of want to stop that if we can. Probably can't, though. Oh, no. Okay. We get a turn! We can discard this, which stops the Fury. I think we can stop this. You're charged. So we can discard a Nemesis or power cards. That's really good. I don't want to play this twice. Is this the one where I have to take damage? That player suffers 1 damage. Not good when we have no health. Whoops. We have no heals. Lash can use this once. Adelheim can use it 3 times. Unless we just perish someone and then start using Gravehold health. I don't have enough spending power for this one. But it doesn't matter for that one. It's the only one. I shouldn't do it immediately though. Fine. Put it on the bottom. Diversify. Now the problem is my play a jump twice card is not lined up with my current crystals. Very exciting. Funny if we play this twice. Can potentially get 6 ether playing that twice. Not lined up for that though. I'll take that, I guess. Discard a prep spell that costs 3 or more, which is any spell. That's a thing. Like this could be discarded. Could also just kill it, maybe? Maybe? Player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage, kills Lash. Could leave it prepped. If we do, then this doesn't line up with anything. I could have not cast a spark, I suppose. And that way we get a gem to line up with this. It would have to be this one that we don't cast. Open this, prep that. See, that's a way we can make things happen. I guess this is a spell that costs 3 or more, so I didn't have to. But oh, could I have not let the thing be resolved? Or the thing, yeah. Well. Oh, but it wasn't an attack or a power, it was a minion. Minions always happen. My decks are thin. That's what I have going for me. Still don't have 6 ether. It needs to be kept so that it gets hit with this. This one doesn't matter at all. Start destroying sparks. Okay, now don't. Oh, we do have a spell. Okay, we can discard this one, which is fine. Or we can just kill this guy. Okay. So this is gonna happen. Rageborn. If we don't have enough ether, if Lash goes again, do we? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we only have 3. And if you go again, you only have 2. 3? You have 3. So this is gonna happen. Might as well rip the band-aid off and try to use up this. Alright, all my breaches are opened. Yes! Oh, they take 3 damage. Adelheim! Oh, I hate this one. Any player discards a gem in hand, repeat this 5 additional times. We have enough gems right now? No, we don't have enough gems. This is not a gem. The Gravehole can suffer 3 damage once and be fine. Depends on whether you're gonna go again or not, because you would get a charge if this goes off. This gives you a charge. We can only give you 2 charges in total across 2 of our turns. Assuming that Gravehold's here. Or that Nemesis is here. I think we save it for a worse one. Like, yeah, just go immediately, why don't you? And then this minion just goes out. Well, so we still have these charges that I can't do, I suppose. Gravehold suffers damage, sure. I guess I don't have to play this relic. I could just hold it. I could also hold this relic too. Doesn't give me good spending power, but I want to save it so we can give Adelheim charges. The 2 ether is not going to make or break us. I don't think. I don't know. Save this one, use that one. I want to be able to destroy this. Yeah, we really can't use this at all, which is annoying. We didn't take HP recovery this run. That was my mistake. That was my mistake. Nice turn. We took this, we could destroy stuff, but we have nothing in our hand we want to destroy. Open that. I'll hold on to this again. And then hold on to these. That's an attack. Hey, this actually tells me how many cards are left. 1 tier 2 card and 10 tier 3 cards. Place, so either unleash twice, which plays a strike, or place the most recently discarded minion card, which will be Banesire, right? Or no, it's Scorn. And most likely, because the next one will be Adelheim. No, I used the charges. Use the charges. There we go. I guess that was any ally gains a charge, so I probably should have used it last turn, or did I? I don't know. Am I destroying cards in hand with this, or am I doing damage? I'm doing damage, right? Just like progress the victory condition. Well, you know. You know. You know. This is, I don't even know what's in here. That's great. I don't even know what's on there. Okay, there's a crystal there. I think my deck just got a whole lot worse. I'll have that relic. Okay. They're just gonna be that way, okay. I have no ether. Where's my spending power? Looks like it doesn't matter. None of these matter. Our decks are too thin. We're drawing the cards anyway. I'm at full charge here. Yeah, I really can't use this any. I can't at all use Lash's thing. But oh. Any ally against a charge, you're at full. Does it kill you? I don't think it does. Finally got rid of all of our crystals. That's the good news. That's the one good news. I mean, I think you still have a crystal. You have 2 crystals, but you lost the thing that destroys crystals, so GG. Can Lash, can the Nemesis please go so we can use Adelheim's charge, please? Pretty please? Actually, I can kill this guy. Oh. Yeah, we don't actually get the charges, but Lash already has both of his turns anyway. Okay, that's the good news. Bad news is everything. Oh my gosh, 2 Nemesis turns in a row. Are you trying to kill me here? Are you actually trying to kill me here? Ha. Well, there's a chance we survive. We survived. It wasn't a bad one, as in a card that deals damage. I guess damage to Gravehold would be fine. Okay. Oh my gosh, I can actually buy a spell. I can buy a spell. I don't know if I need spells, but I'll buy stuff. Probably need better spending power still. Go away. Well. That was supposed to be the easy match. I am bad at this game. That's why I stopped playing it, because I'm bad at this game. My records are bad. Of course, if I played the game more, I'd learn how to play it, but I'm just bad at this game. And it's okay to be bad at things. You don't have to be good at everything. I've lost 3-3 to Rageborn, which is slightly better than the global record, but this is supposed to be the easiest one. It's supposed to be. Allegedly. I guess it's easier to see it from, like, here. Difficulty 2 versus difficulty 7s. Yeah. Doesn't seem good. All right. But let's move on to a game that I am good at, which is Spirit Island. You win some, you lose some, you know. If I didn't have such a defeatist attitude, I would probably play better, is one thing that I know I could improve on. But I don't have enough experience with AEND to understand what it takes to win. Victory isn't as sweet without knowing defeat. Exactly. All right, we are moving on to the game that I am good at. It's kind of cool now to have... Look at me. Look at the achievements. I'm having a really hard time coordinating this with my own hands. Achievements! You know, if I could, like, get rid of the squareness of this, but again, the problem with that is that, my room is still seen over here, and you can actually see like how bright the light is right there, so I can't exactly have this be all free reign. It'd be kind of nice to be like, should I play this card over here, or should I play this card? I've had this chair actually for a while. I think I may or may not have gotten it for my birthday. But no, I've had it for a while because my old chair was really uncomfortable and it didn't have back support at all. It was a chair that, like, you could make it so it always stays upright instead of lean back, but anytime I try to do that, something broke and it cleaned back anyway. But no, the chair isn't new technically, but the green screen is new. Okay. So we are doing easy game, which means no adversary. River. Just difficulty 0. I mean, this is the easiest game of Spirit Island ever. But hey, after losing that terrible easy game of Aeon's End, we need to win an easy game to remind ourselves what it means to win. And I think we're still on fast settings because I was doing a speedrun last. Or no, it's not necessarily from the speedrun, because I know oops, that was not what I wanted to do. I know that at one point we did something online, didn't we? Let's just slow things down a bit. Oh yeah, I turned off zooming, that's why it felt fast. Because it bugs whenever you change it mid-game or something, I don't know. Alright, mountains build, easily dealt with. Easily dealt with. Maybe I don't even wash away. Maybe I do flash floods on this town or something. Just get a lot of energy this turn. I'll get to reclaim 1 next turn, right? Yeah. We'll get this threshold anyway. Would be nice to stop that city at 8 though. We do have events, so I do need to be mindful of singleton Dahans. That's just gonna happen. I think we'll just do it the safe way. We'll play safe. Been around 5 months since you last saw me on screen. Fair enough. Yeah, I haven't done webcam in a while because I haven't liked various aspects of it, such as how my room was. But here I feel like I have a bit more privacy. You don't get to see my room anymore. It's all mysterious. You just see me. Makes me feel more comfortable. Believe it or not. We're already range 1 sacred site from everything, so it's really just where do I want Dahan to be, I guess. We don't have defend cards, so this might blight, so I don't want to go in there. Events could do scary things, of course. A3 makes sense. A1 could blight pending the event and all that. We'll just go in there. Reclaim River's Bounty. Oh, we don't even have events? Oh, I don't have events enabled. Because the last time I played this was the speed run, and I turned off events. We don't even have events! So much easier! Don't have to worry about nothing. Okay, wetlands build. So A2 has a disease. But I can't kill the city with, like, massive flooding, but I could kill this town with massive flooding. I could try to combo it with, like, stuff here, but might as well just prevent A3 instead with Wash Away. We're not gonna get the thing. I just want to kill the city next turn with, like, flash floods, I suppose. Yeah, so since there's no events, Singleton Dahan don't matter anymore. Let's just make a baby here. Just make babies every turn. Get points. Get my extra power. Song of Sanctity gives me elements. Twilight Fog gives me elements. Don't have the Sacred Site in A8, but it wouldn't be enough anyway. Don't have enough animals for the threshold on Inflame. I was saying she removes Blight, but it's not really gonna work for this mountain because it has an Explorer in it already. Twilight Fog is free. I like free. Free is good. Set up to kill the city with Flash Floods plus innate energy. And then just push things when push comes to shove and all that. And beasts would not do much. Sands is easily dealt with. Bam. And definitely get rid of the ones in this one. There's no event, so this is safe. Might as well join the mountain party. And let's give birth in this Sands. This inner jungle is kind of bad right now because it's seeing 3 other lands that are not being seen otherwise, but I can't do anything in there just yet. Unless I were to grow in there, I could take a power. Yeah, I could take a power and then play 4 cards easily. Reclaim Wash Away, or not Wash Away, Reclaim Wash Away? Wash Away is the Earth, yeah. So Wash Away would then help trigger my Hyper Innate, but it doesn't actually kill the city is the thing. There is this land here though, but Wash Away would help deal with that. Push them into A8, so I guess I'm looking for some damage. 1 damage to kill the city in A8. There's no damage. Also, I guess I technically need a water card and a sun card because this one doesn't have sun. And these don't have water in them, so we don't actually get damage, but that's okay. Spuron doesn't do anything. Swarming Wasps is free. Portents of Disaster gives us fear. And it's free. I mean, everything that's not Spuron is free. Target land has Dahan, 1 fear, and push an explorer in a town. They're in stage 2. They've already explored Sands. There's some potential, but not a whole lot. We can combine it with A7. I mean, we can always just push that with Wash Away was my thought. It's 2 energy to stop that build versus 1 energy to push the town around. I mean, 2 fear plus 1 is mostly a fear card, so Portents is okay. I will take Portents. Portents gives us damage. Or not damage, it gives us fear with the damage here. There's no other damage card here. I guess the question is, was I gonna do damage in the town in 8-7? Probably, because that's the one that's most relevant. And the extra fear off this doesn't do much. Explorer does not affect coastal. Well, that stops 1 explorer. Because it is doing either coastal or mountain or wetland or jungle. Wetland. Ease the peas. Coastal Explorer actually wouldn't be too good because they're still doing stuff in A1 and A3 if that were to happen. Strife the city. Yeah. Hands Ravage is done, Wetland build is done, so they're not doing anything this turn. Other than explore. Reclaim. Build a volume. There's one water card. Or, and bear with me on this, we get a fear card with Land of Haunts and Embers and A8. Which would destroy my presence. But it would put us in tier level 2 with 2 fear cards. Honestly, I'm okay with that. I don't have 2 fire. I could take this and use Command Beast to get a fear, I suppose. Or I could just do Land of Haunts and Embers. No, that would only be 2 fear. Wait. Yeah, no, this doesn't do enough. I need this. I need this! Although that does make us blight the island, is the other problem. So maybe not that then. Maybe blighting the island is incorrect. I guess Portents is 2 fear. Next time an invader is destroyed. Any invader. Any invader. Portents plus Flash Floods is 3 fear. Actually, Portents... If I do Flash Floods in A3 with Portents, that is 4 fear. Okay, so that's fine. Never mind, I don't need to do stupid crap with Blight. Good news. Alright, so let's take call the trade. Yes, call the trade. That would actually be elements someday for when it matters. We're not hitting the thing. But if I play something that's either wash away or call the trade, so this one, because we don't need the Dahan anywhere this turn. Awesome. 2 fear cards at tier level 2. Very good. Good and good. We'll move up to 3 health of invaders from a land of the disease, or 1 explorer from an inland land. Well, I guess it's 1 explorer from an inland land. And yeah, those cards were terrible. Those cards did nothing. I guess it would have stopped A7 from building if we didn't already deal with it. Mountains Explorer, look at the fun party in A1. Gonna be dealt with though. So this one would have originally been remove something from a land with disease. So it did do something that wouldn't have happened, but still. Okay, massive flooding. I guess since there's no like event, I could always like push 1 guy into wetlands. 1 guy into wetlands. And then use my massive wash away into the jungle party. So now all the things that aren't dying are in A8. So let's just start by putting Dahan in there. The city is strifed, so if they ever do something in that jungle, city is in danger. Take another power card and a card play. I have 4 energy, but 1 is here. Maybe energy for like, not flash floods though. You have the earth. We have 3 waters and 2 suns. So we reclaim a card that has sun and water on it, and we hit our hyper innate. I guess that would be flash floods and we kill the city and we win. So it doesn't really matter what card I choose. But if I'm playing flash floods, then... Oh, but then that doesn't actually... Yeah. I need a card that has... Because the problem is I can't play flash floods. Oh, I can, it has a sun and water. Never mind. What was I worried about? I was worried about nothing. None of these do anything. I'd just put a wilds on A3. So that when we start the second wave, we have tokens. Oh my gosh. Yeah, cleared the board thanks to the wilds. Haha. All right. It's Terra level 2 victory, but we also emptied the board, so there's no one here. Well, Spirit Island is a much easier game than Aeon's End. You heard it here first. I don't know if that's an accurate statement, but we had 1 extra point loss for an extra blight, but we added 4 points with Dahan, so that's a net profit of 3 points. -2 for every invader card that got played. We could have won, you know, immediately, but oh well. We could have won on turn 0 if we set things up correctly. Yeah. What's the highest score you ever got on Spirit Island? Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment with how many points you got in a single game of Spirit Island. Yeah. This is now YouTuber content right there. All right. Well, we are now 2 hours and 51 minutes into this Handelabrathon. Does that mean bottom of the 9th? The one person that wanted it is not here. I could just end the stream and he would never know. I could say, oh yeah, I did bottom of the 9th. It was totally awesome. But I probably should play bottom of the 9th. I know nothing about it. I did watch John do it a couple of times about a couple months ago. It was when he was not going to do Handelabra live, but then surprise he could, and then he just did it. Unless he watches the replay. Shh. Just tell him the replay was bugged. There's no replay. It accidentally got bugged. You know, it happens. These things happen. Okay. Well, I guess I should start the game. I don't think I've ever set it up on streams, so I will have to, like, open it up, do stuff to it. Ow! Volume warning!
Oh, well, it's baseball fever here in town again, and the home team's at the bat today.
Sorry.
It's amazing that they
Sorry.
made it this far at all.
Sorry about that.
The away team hasn't lost a game all year, so
options.
it's now or never to shine. All they've got to
Yeah,
do
resize this.
is
Oh, I can resize it, but I can't, like, granularly resize it.
Can't miss a beat. All the fans are going wild at the edge of their seats as the pitcher and the batter.
Okay, well, let's add this source. Whoops. Did I just accidentally delete something? I hope it wasn't important, whatever I hit minus on. It wasn't anything.
Because there's nothing that's quite like the thrill you feel in the bottom of the night.
Okay, so now with that, I could try to resize this so it fits the window. Also, it's covering me. That's bad.
In the bottom of the night.
Okay. There we go. There we go. You swear you're awake. Right, and then I click this. Okay, things are updated. Okay. There's an arrow here on tutorial, so I guess I'm clicking that. Complete basic batting training to unlock batting practice with any of the real batters. Complete basic pitching training to unlock pitching warm up with any of the real pitchers. Learn to bat. All right. Welcome to bottom of the ninth batting practice. We'll get you ready to play ball with some practice swings. Your mission to accomplish all the training goals. Training goals: make contact, take a ball. Training tips: click where you think the pitcher will aim the pitch. The highlighted spot is the pitcher's ace pitch, high and inside. If they choose either part of it, it costs the pitcher fatigue. If you guess correctly, you'll get to use your abilities to modify your swing die roll. Yeah, so what does fatigue do again? I forgot. I already forgot. Watched this 2 months ago and I already forgot. I'm gonna guess low and inside. I guessed both correctly! Yes! You get to use either your MVP ability or 2 regular abilities this pitch to modify your swing roll. Pitcher rolls C2. The pitcher rolled a C, so it's right on the edge of the strike zone. You need to get exactly 2 to make contact. Okay, so I roll and get a 5. Try to use your abilities to modify your swing roll to be exactly 2. If you can, you'll make contact. Okay. So. Swing reaction. You may flip the swing die to the opposite side. You may flip the swing die to the opposite side. So this was the swing die. And it says flip the 2. I can make it exactly 2 if I flip it to 2. I could either do +1, -1 swing and reroll swing. Or I can flip to the other side. I'll just flip it to 2. Aha! Aha! You hit the ball on the corner pitch. Well done. Roll your die on the bottom half of the screen until you get a 5 or a 6, then press safe. Higher than the pitcher on S pitch. Swing and make contact. Okay, so will accomplish make contact using abilities. Use your abilities to make a swing die higher than the control die on S pitch. Okay, so it's just those. Okay. Okay. And this is like, this is the one that's simultaneous, but I lost, right? Yeah, all those things are coming up at weird times. But yeah, it's like simultaneous there. Training tips. In regular gameplay, the batter is out with 3 strikes or if they are thrown out running to the base. A run is scored if a runner gets all the way around the bases. During batting practice, we'll reset any outs, runners on base, and pitcher fatigue between batters. Oh. Oh. I'll say high and away. He picked low and away. I guessed 1, but the pitcher fooled me on the other. I'll get to use 1 ability this pitch to modify my swing roll. The pitcher won't use abilities during batting practice. Well, you know. The pitcher rolled a B, so the pitch is outside the strike zone. You'll want to roll 4 or lower to take a ball. Excellent. But I have a re-roll because I matched the inside part, so I have to use the re-roll. Perfect. I didn't fall for that B pitch. That's a ball. Once you get 4 balls, it's a walk. Okay. Yeah, these are goals I've accomplished. Yes! So now I will guess high and inside. Ha! Fooled you. S5. The pitcher rolled a S, so the pitch is in the strike zone. Roll higher than 5 to swing and make contact. But the 6 is a crush, right? Oh! Try to use my abilities to modify my swing roll. I'm good, thanks! Now you'll roll again to see what happens. Anything from a regular contact to a home run. 5. Safe. The double. Unfortunately, we reset everything, so there's no takeaway from there. I'm gonna go with low and away here. Guess high and away. But I get a reroll. S3, so it needs to be 3 or higher. 3. Oh no, I need higher than 3 to make contact. Okay, never mind. So I'll just re-roll it. 6. Crush! Yes! I have to get a foul ball now? Foul ball? Oh, it's a regular. Hey! I'm safe. I have to press save. What kind of video game is this? I mean, technically it's based off the physical game, so high in insight. Low in insight. And get the reroll. I have to roll higher than a 1. I have to roll higher than a 1.
Foul.
All right, well, I got the foul ball. Now I need to earn a walk. That's my goal. Hey. Logic luck. All right, B5, so I need to roll lower than the 5. 5 or lower to get a ball. I'll take the ball.
Ball.
High inside. Honestly, I have no strategy for my picks here, but I'm against an AI, so it like doesn't matter. There's no like outthinking the opponent here. I need to roll lower than a 6, or just 6 and lower. I honestly wonder whether they're actually just getting my training goals like automatically here. Whether it's like it doesn't matter what decisions I do here, I'm just gonna get my training goals no matter what I do. All right, so what, we're on ball 3? Is that what happened? I don't know. I've lost count. Is there a way I can track it?
Ball.
Ball 3. I honestly don't know baseball that well. Like I'm familiar with balls and strikes, but I don't really pay attention that well. I need higher than 2 to make contact. Sure. OMG, I'm back just in time! I thought I pressed it. Sorry. I thought I pressed it. I was building the tension is what I was doing. Okay, am I done yet? I don't want to do all this. I don't care. Play locally. I'm ready to play. I've played enough. I'm smart. Sure. Random. I have no idea what these people do. We'll just do random and we'll submit. It's easy. Apply logic. All right, so now the computer will be doing things. Unless crushed, contact is a single and skip the run phase is the MVP. There's also a trait here. I don't know what traits exactly do. May always use whatever this color is. Is it red or black? Versus left-handed batters. How do I tell what batter I am? I'm left. Great. Fantastic. Okay, I will just go with low and inside. You did high and inside. Okay, I get a reroll. You get a +1, -1. Oh no, this is me. Oh, I'm pitching. Right. Okay. Apparently I'm pitching. I'm pitching. If you haven't noticed. I rolled a ball 5. I want it to be lower. I can do that again, I guess. Cool.
Ball.
Why do I get to do it twice? I'm confused. +1, -1 control. Trait, I don't know. I'm pitching, by the way, so I'm doing things here. And I'm gonna go with low and away. Aha! Look at this. I'm amazing. B1. I don't know. I don't want to re-roll the B or the 1, right? Like, in order for it to be a ball, he has to roll a 1. I will accept this. B1 is great. Aha! High and away. Okay. So my trait lets me do this twice, so I can do +1, -1 twice, is what you're saying? Aha. Well, screw you. Screw you. That was a double? Single. Okay. What does fatigue do? I never actually learned that. I guess every time I don't do the low and inside, I gain fatigue, right? That's how that works. Okay. High and inside. Bam. B3. Roll that one. Hey, that was worse. He'll degrade if I choose low inside or low inside, yeah. Aw, man. Once it reaches 3, I can't use that specific option anymore. Fair enough. See, 5. You have to roll exactly 5. Ha! Take that. Take that. I'm gonna do it again. You're not expecting me to do it again. Joke's on you. S4. You'd have to roll a 5 or a 6. Up 1. Oh, I'm at 3 on both of these, so I'm forced to do high inside or high outside all the time. High and away all the time. Oh, I see. I'm just high and away all the time. Whoops. I kind of screwed that up. So I see. So my ace pitch is the one that causes fatigue is the problem. That's why there's a fatigue on your ace pitch. Makes sense.
Strike 3.
Carry Rumble struck out. Serves you right. I'm gonna have to change my picture. Just, you know. Let's go with this newbie. Or whoever he is, I don't know. I literally don't know what I'm doing. I'm just clicking on cards. Alright. So we already have one on both fatigues. So I get fatigue if I do low and away, but if I do high and inside, there's no fatigue, I would assume. +1, -1 control, reroll any one pitcher's die, no fatigue, or any two. B5 and B6 become C6 if it's low and away. If no foul or no contact versus S2 pitches, the home team may try to advance all runners one base with +1 speed. High and inside. Take that. No fatigue. B3. B2. No!
Ball.
Okay. Low and inside. Okay, we still got that match. Strike, ups. Ha!
Hi.
That should be a double strike. I activate my ace pitch to seal the deal. Or not, because you did that. Okay, fine. Be that way.
Ball.
Okay, well now I can't do low anymore. Okay. Okay. So you're just gonna get a permanent +1 -1? Sure. I'm good at this game. I swear it. S4 is acceptable. Not that way though. So 1 out and the bases are 2/3 loaded because I can do fractions. Can only gain 1 relief. Oh. I can't even like swap my pitcher, I guess. That's why I shouldn't switch pitchers. You're going high and inside. B2 is totally fine. I'm gonna do the same thing again because I have no creativity. S4. Or, and bear with me on this, S5. I could have gained up the 2 relief from my first pitcher. Oh, the number of empty bases determines it. I getcha. Should I do it again? I'm gonna do it again. You're not expecting me to do it 3 times in a row. Aha! Joke's on you. Silly AI. I'm not gonna reroll. Look, I'm smart.
Strike 3.
You're out! My strategy is good. It's working good. I didn't even spend any relief that match. They're not expecting me to do it 4 times in a row. Or are they? Okay, I only get the control. And it won't be B5 or B6. Knuckleball. Well, you know.
Ball.
You know. You know. I hate this game. There's no strategy. I just click on things. All right, bases are loaded with 2 outs and 0 relief. Or is it? Oh, I have to roll. Right, never mind. Never mind.
Safe.
Oh, but I was supposed to roll. I was supposed to roll. I'm gonna kick some dirt. Yes! Yes, I'm gonna kick some dirt. I don't know what that means. Oh, the call stands. Whatever. Jeez. I'm supposed to click on things, you know? Oh boy.
Foul.
My strategy is to spend 0 relief. No one will ever see it coming. C. Kind of weird because you have to hit it exactly, right? So it doesn't really matter if it's up or down. I'm gonna make it up. All right, one more strike and we win. Or maybe, I don't know, it's a tie game, so who knows. I think the story is that this is like the batting team's last chance to win. They have to win at the bottom of the 9th, otherwise the other team crushes it.
Ball.
Okay, low and inside. Haha! Fooled you! You're expecting me to go high in a way, or whatever. I don't know. You're expecting me to do the thing. I should have made it B1?
Ball.
Oh, it should have been lower. Right, right. I needed it to be lower. I forgot. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, well, yeah, you're just gonna get your stuff all the time, so. Aha! Well, you know. Okay, I'm gonna click the die. Bam! Bam! No! No! No!
Safe.
Thank you for watching Dolphins Dive, everyone. I had to win because I hit the wrong button. Yeah, that makes sense. It's been 3 hours. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But yeah. There was a brain fart there. Because I think the last time I had the ball was when I was batting, but I don't know. You said B1 was good. I don't know. Thank you for watching Dolphins Dive. That was the Handelabrathon, my last chance to play all of the games one last time. We got 3 wins and 2 losses. And for that reason, we will not play the lost games in 2022, because if you can't win them, defeat them, or something like that. But yeah, we stream every Thursday at 7 p.m. and now I have a fancy green screen, so I will look all cool on top of the game overlay, which makes things very exciting on stream. Check out the other streams we have on this channel. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. is Handelabra Live with John. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. is Dolphins Dive with yours truly. Every Friday at 6 p.m. is it? Or is it 5 p.m.? No, it's 4 p.m. Yeah, 4 p.m. is Luck of the Seamus the Hug Monster. Every Saturday at 2 p.m. is Spirit Island Saturdays with usually myself, usually John, usually Seamus, and sometimes one of you if you claim the 20,000 point Handelabra reward to be a guest on Spirit Island Saturdays. We're not streaming this Saturday because it's the New Year's Day, but we will be hopefully back next week. And next Sunday at 6 p.m. Next Sunday? On Sundays in general at 6 p.m. is Tales from the Archive with another letdown. It's 11:20. I'm kind of out of it right now. I've been streaming for a while. It's been 3 hours, 20 minutes, but it's 4 hours, 20 minutes past the usual start because I started things late so I can get this set up. But yeah, it's the end of the stream, and I did bottom of the ninth for John, so he can rest easy now. He can feel relief that someone else played bottom of the ninth for once. The one other person that has played bottom of the ninth. Nah, I'm just kidding, of course. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'd have to play with it more to understand it. I just was playing through it very quickly and haphazardly because, well, I didn't want to spend 2 hours reading stuff. But yeah, that's it for this week. Check out our Twitch, twitch.tv/Handelabra Games. Check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/LogicDolphin. And fireworks for New Year's, of course, you can see on the screen. You can see up there. See it up there. See, it's up there. Ah! But all right. Yeah, have a good night, everyone. See ya. Happy New Year, and I'll hopefully you have a nice New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, whatever have you. Good night.